Right, good morning, children. So if everybody can make sure they're sat all lovely ready for our wonderful story today, The Tale of the Naughty Little Rabbit. Right, year one, if we can put our voices away and our hands in our laps so we're all relaxed and ready to hear a wonderful story. Okay, so The Tale of the Naughty Little Rabbit. In a snug little burrow beneath a tall fir tree in the heart of the wood lived a family of rabbits. Can you see the family? So there was Mummy Rabbit, Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail. There were 3 of these rabbits and they were all family, mother and daughters. And they were all as good as gold, it says. So we'll soon find out if that's true, won't we? And then there was Peter, the little brother. Here he is. Look, one naughty little rabbit wearing his smart new coat. In the woodland area. Today, Mrs. Rabbit has some shopping to do. You can play outside while I'm gone, she told her children. But remember, stay away from Mr. McGregor's garden. Do you think they're going to listen to what Mummy said? Do you think they're going to stay away from Mr. McGregor's garden? Do you, Zach? No? Does anybody else agree with Zach? Hands up if you think they're not going to stay away from Mr. McGregor's garden. Let's find out. Mr. Rabbit had visited once and never came home. So Daddy Rabbit must have visited Mr. McGregor's garden and didn't ever return home. That's why Mummy Rabbit's so worried. While Mrs. Rabbit was out, Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail busied themselves like good little bunnies, picking wild blackberries for tea, but not Peter. He ran straight to Mr. McGregor's garden. We guessed that, didn't we, Zach? Here he is. Look, one naughty little rabbit squeezing himself under the gate. Can anybody tell me what bird they can see on this page? Can anybody see it? Hands up. Yes, Lily? A robin, yes, a lovely little robin. And if you notice on the pages, the robin is always there, watching over Peter Rabbit, looking after him. First, Peter ate some juicy fresh lettuces. Then he nibbled the spicy red radishes. Then he gobbled some crunchy green beans, and soon Peter's tummy began to feel a bit funny. He looked around for some parsley, but instead he found... What do you think he found? Can anybody think of what they think that he's found in their heads and keep it there and see if you're right when we go on to the next page? So what do you think he found next? He was looking for some parsley, but instead he found Mr. McGregor. There he is, right on top of him, ready to catch him. Peter turned and ran as fast as his little rabbit legs would carry him. But Mr. McGregor chased after him, waving a rake and shouting, "Stop, thief, stop!" He looks quite scary and he looks very angry, doesn't he? Do you think we might be angry if somebody come and ruined all of our vegetable patch? Poor Peter was very frightened. In his panic, he couldn't remember the way back to the garden gate. He ran back and forth all over the garden with Mr. McGregor close behind him. Look how close he is. Oh, look. There's hardly any space between them. Here he is. Look, one naughty little rabbit running for his life. He really is running for his life, isn't he? And his mum did tell him about this, didn't she? She warned him. As Peter dashed through the vegetable patch, one of his shoes came off. Peter kept on running. He lost his other shoe in the potatoes. Without the shoes, Peter ran even faster. So without his shoes, he was even faster. There's the robin again, look. Trying to look after poor Peter. Straight into the net around the gooseberry bushes, the big brass buttons of Peter's blue coat got tangled up. Suddenly, Mr. McGregor appeared over him. "You wretched little rabbit, I'll have you for my dinner," said Mr. McGregor. Peter wriggled and squirmed to get free. And just before Mr. McGregor could trap him, Peter escaped. So as soon as he went to get him, he was gone. That's how fast these rabbits are. Maybe I'll be safe in the tool shed, thought the scared little rabbit. A big green watering can seemed like the perfect hiding place until Peter discovered how much water was inside. But Mr. McGregor had followed him into the tool shed. He began turning over flower pots one at a time, searching for Peter. All of a sudden, he heard a rabbity sneeze. Achoo! Right from inside the watering can. If you look, there's his little face popping up in the watering can, full of water. Poor Peter was out of the can in a flash. He ran away as fast as his little rabbit legs would take him. He found his way at last back to the garden gate. Finally, Peter was safe. Oh, take a deep breath. 1, 2, 3. And he was safe again. He ran all the way home without stopping. There he is with his mum and his sisters. Mr. McGregor found the 2 shoes and the new blue coat that Peter had left behind. He made them into a scarecrow to frighten away all the birds. Can you see that scarecrow coat he made? And who sat on the shoulder of the scarecrow? The robin. Back in the snug burrow, Mrs. Rabbit was not at all pleased that Peter had lost his shoes and his coat. That evening, Flopsy, Mopsy and Cottontail had a delicious feast of bread and milk and freshly picked blackberries. And Peter... Mrs. Rabbit put him straight to bed without any supper, only a spoonful of chamomile tea to settle his aching stomach. Here he is, look, one naughty little rabbit, feeling rather sorry for himself, and don't you feel sorry for him too? Do you children feel sorry for him? Does year 1 feel sorry for Peter Rabbit? I kind of do, because he only wanted to have fun, didn't he, and get all the vegetables. So, and Mr. McGregor is a very cross man because he doesn't like his vegetables being tampered with. So, I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about the book. And if anyone got any other questions, pop your hand up, year 1. Don't be afraid. Ask as many questions as you like about the story because it's a very interesting story. So can anyone remember what bird we saw in this book and the bird that kept popping up on each page? Araya? Yes, a robin. Well done, sweetheart. Brilliant. And one more question. Did Peter Rabbit have a yummy feast of tea with his family on that evening, or did he go straight to bed? Who knows the answer to that one? Yes, Zach? Straight to bed. You're right, he did. Well done, year 1, for listening. Fantastic story time. And I think next time we're going to do the Gruffalo. I love that book. We'll do Gruffalo next time.